way. In every weekday morning with Good Morning Bay.
Good morning, Bay. आप सभी लोग हमारी तरफ से एक प्यार भरा नमस्ते,
नमस्कार,
वनक्कम,
नमस्कार,
खुशामदीद,
अस्सलाम वालेकुम,
सत श्री अकाल,
మీ అందరికి వందనములు,
जय स्वामीनारायण,
जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय जिनेंद्र।
हमारे इस्माइली भाई बंधुओं को बोल दे याली मदद।
मौलाली मदद बोलते हैं सारे फीजी मंदिर को बोलेंगे नीसा बुला बदजान। हम आ गए हैं आपके प्यारे महिमा के द्वारा। मैं सिर्फ फालतू बाबा
And of course, myself फालतू रानी लेकर आपके लिए एक और ड्राइव टाइम that's going to make it totally exciting and totally मस्तानी बन जाने।
And of course, I hope everybody had a relaxing weekend, which is a long weekend, Memorial Day, Banajan, remembering all the people who actually have given up many of their, sacrificed many of their life, personal life, things and belongings, and Banajan for us to be experiencing the freedom here. So giving a shout out to all the people actually who are being serving for us on the borders, across the borders as well. And right now I'm going to be getting into our traffic update, which everybody waits to hear as what's happening on the roads. Yes, छुट्टी होने के बाद तो definitely traffic रहेगा बलजान. So this is your रास्ते का हाल, which will give you totally sustainable.
It's time for the Bandu Traffic Update. Call us from wherever you are at 408-912-2479.
Well, Banjan, we do know that many people are coming back to work right now. June 1st ho gaya hai. It's around 440 days of our sheltering in place. And somewhere on mid-June, June 15th, we are going to be opening up entirely, Banjan. And the economy is going to open up. And a lot of things about the hearsay about some particular new strain of virus coming in. We'll get into all those things, Banjan, with our news updates for you guys. So just stay tuned. But usse pehle, traffic update. Let's start from the East Bay. Traffic hazards been reported on 680 southbound north of Castlewood Drive. The left lane's affected there. Slow traffic. Yes, kind of sluggish traffic heading down towards south of Kabanjan. And of course, the traffic hazard on 84 eastbound doesn't seem to be impacting traffic much. But watch out for that. But an accident, the collision which actually has occurred right now, Banjan, on Washington Boulevard on 680 southbound, north of 680 actually, north of the Washington Boulevard actually in Fremont area. This seems to be affecting traffic kind of slightly, but it's okay. It still is moving in a clear fashion, Banjan. But of course, there's some residual delays happening on there on the bridge in the North Bay, going up north all the way on the Golden Gate Bridge, Banjan. On 80 Bridge actually. And San Francisco, there's actually a report of an accident, which is on 380 West, very close to Airport Banjan, but doesn't seem to be affecting traffic much over there. Traffic is flowing, but towards the side, so watch out for that. And some sluggish traffic reported on Burlingame area. Why? What? I don't know. 101 is actually kind of really backed up over there. It's pretty much in the red zone. Dark red, in other words, what we get on our screen. But someday I'll show you all the things what we see on our screen, because we also get to see the cameras on the roads. But so when you're driving, please smile at the cameras. Just kidding. We actually can see all what's happening on the roads also, But right now, let me tell you, it's time for us to be going into a little bit of headlines for you guys, or should we say, directly jumping into the news, because probably we have time for the news only, right, Faltwani?
Yes.
Shall we get into the news?
Well, absolutely. So let us tell you, Banajan, this is Radio D Hotties and the Good Morning Bay News Edition, covering local and US news headlines right here coming up for you. And if you want to catch up on this, you can actually go view our video on YouTube as well and get more information from there. The White House is cranking up pressure as talks drag on with Republicans over President Biden's ambitious yet divisive infrastructure plans. The administration had hoped for a deal on the proposal, originally tagged at $2.2 trillion by Memorial Day. However, there's still a $700 billion gap between Biden's original proposal and GOP's counter-proposals. There are fears among the president's allies that this ongoing inertia could lead to a summer slump that often happens in the first year of a presidency, when unanticipated challenges at home and abroad slow down the early months of the president's legislative momentum. Half of the US population is now at least partially vaccinated, which means health experts are less concerned about the crowds that gathered at beaches, bars, and other venues over the holiday weekend. Still, they want those that are not vaccinated that they are at greater risk of serious illness from COVID-19. The next goal? Well, Biden wants to get 70% of the population at least partially vaccinated by July 4th. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization has assigned new labels to key coronavirus variants so the public can refer to them by letters of the Greek alphabet instead of where the variant was first detected. For example, not the Africa variant, the India variant, or whatever, right? So they're going to have Roman letters that are going to be assigned to it. For instance, the UK variant that made its way around the world is now a variant Alpha. And the one responsible for the surge in India recently is now called Delta. So that's the way it's working. Also, voting laws. Texas has now become the next battleground state in the voting rights fight after state Democrats successfully derailed a restrictive voting bill. The legislators walked off the state house floor late Sunday night, leaving majority of Republicans without the quorum they needed to approve the bill before a midnight deadline. The bill would make mail-in voting more difficult, ban early voting on Sunday mornings, and prohibit local election officials from sending out absentee ballot applications to anyone who has requested one.
But they have stopped it, right? So basically,
yeah, they have. So the measure is kind of dead for now, but Governor Greg Abbott has made it clear that the issue will be of top of mind during the next legislative session. States like Georgia and Florida have already passed similar restrictive voting measures based on falsehoods promoted by former President Trump that the outcome of the 2020 election was somehow fraudulent. The United States, President Joe Biden is coming out and saying that nearly 14% of 1,500 federal agency appointees identify as lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, or queer. He said on Tuesday in a proclamation marking this as the start of the Pride Month celebrating the LGBTQ community. A Democrat, Biden urged the Congress to protect LGBTQ people from discrimination by passing the Equality Act. Donald Trump, his Republican predecessor, did not officially recognize Pride Month during his 4 years in office. For all of our progress, there are many states in which LGBTQ plus individuals still lack protection for fundamental rights and dignity in hospitals, schools, public and accommodations, and other spaces, is what Biden said. In the meanwhile, let's tell you what is happening. While Biden is pushing this in Florida on Tuesday became the latest and by far the largest U.S. state to ban transgender women and girls from participating in school sports.
Wow.
Part of a campaign in state houses nationwide this year, assailed as discriminatory by equal rights activists. Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, who is closely aligned with former President Donald Trump, signed this bill into law on the first day of Pride Month, which celebrates lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer community. It's like sending a resounding message to them.
Well, in a way, if you look at it, right, it's not fair. It's not fair play if at all you have a transgender person actually compete with a woman athlete.
Well,
do you know why?
Why?
Because their testosterone levels are much greater than that of a woman, and the second thing is they are they have the structure and the muscular capability of a man, so you can't compare the two of them together.
Well, they're saying right now, I don't know about those aspects of it, Altubaba. All I'm going to say is that it is discriminatory. I mean,
well, it is, but at the same time, you should also look at the part. I'm.
It's not competitive sports, Altubaba. They're just saying from sports altogether.
Yes, because they eventually become competitive sports, right?
Right, that's
then
true.
You'll have more women actually injecting themselves in all kinds of hormones to be able to match that particular speed. It's a slippery slope right there. Okay.
Well,
anyway, it's just my opinion, Faltoni. It's fine, and I think when somebody else says that, Faltoni agree with that. Okay. But
no,
anyways.
I just think that the government should stay out of
sports.
Should stay out of people's
Closets?
Sexuality and what people are doing in their bedrooms and people's reproductive rights.
So it's okay if a man dresses up like a woman and says I'm a transgender and takes part in a Women Olympics team?
No.
Then that's exactly what this law is about.
No, that's not exactly what the law is about. Have you read the law? We don't
I
know, right?
have been following this story because it's a very interesting way to understand that there is no right answer to anything.
That's true, actually.
Yeah, anyway.
That's the
Sorry.
only
That
thing.
is my 2 cents, but anyway, you can actually have your opinion. You have the right for it.
That's our what we call the ABCT, Banajan, the Altu Baba conspiracy theory, or the Altu Baba take on things across whatever the situation is. He will say this also, he will say that also, and then you'll be like, what? Where the heck do we go? What stance do we take? Because on the one hand, he'll say you shouldn't discriminate, you should give everybody equal rights, and you should make sure everything. And then he'll turn around, he'll say, okay, there's a flip side to this too. And yeah, as is life, everything is ambiguous in life, right?
It's I want our bandhus to build the tolerance to ambiguity, Fatmani.
Wow. Doing, altogether. Anyway, Batijan, let's go on over and let's tell you locally in San Jose, 14 people were displaced by a 3-alarm structure fire in San Jose. 7 children and 7 adults were displaced from their homes. The blaze was first reported at 9:14 p.m. in the 5600 block of the Via Monte. As of 11:08 p.m., firefighters had knocked down the fire, according to fire officials. In other local news, hot weather brought crowds and business actually to Santa Cruz. A lot of people flocked to Santa Cruz over the Memorial Day weekend. The unofficial start of summer kicked off with the hot day in the South Bay, which meant big crowds and big businesses at the beach in Santa Cruz. The crowds were suddenly gigantic and the roads were jam-packed, but businesses benefited. It's clear that having visitors back and the numbers that they are back, it is good for business in Santa Cruz, said Chris Rees from the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk business community. So that's sort of good news that's coming out over there. And as Alto pointed out, we are scheduled to be reopening and going full swing here in the state of California, Banajan, by June 15th. In fact, Santa Clara County is probably going to be one of the first counties going to be hitting herd immunity very soon.
Oh, wonderful. That's nice, right?
We have 185,000 vaccines away from herd immunity, is what they were saying. So,
what about the talk about there was a variant coming up in the Bay Area, blah, blah, blah?
I don't have news about that, Altubaba. Do you have? I was looking for it today, actually. I don't seem to have news about that. But I do want to mention that, in some international news, actually, that you want news from India. Do we have time for that, Altubaba?
Sure, let's do that, Faltwani.
Let's just do some quick headlines. Italian President Sergio Mattarella had to abandon a ceremony on Tuesday dedicating a Rome road to one of his predecessors, Carlo Azeglio Ciampi, after officials noticed that the name on the stone plaque was misspelled. So a lot of red faces as in Rome right now, as they got the name of the president wrong. Netanyahu challenge to the legality of the rival's prime ministerial bid is rebuffed. So finally looks like he's going to be out of power. China has now got this new 3-child policy because they've noticed that the birth rates have dropped significantly in China. So they want to populate more people. So they're now saying, you can have a 3rd child. And the WHO approves the Sinovac COVID shot in second Chinese milestone. It's called a Sinovac COVID shot. And also, the European Union is going to be adding Japan to their safe travel list. Leave UK off for now, is what they're saying. And in news from India, Banajan, no CBSE and ICSE Class 12 board exams this year. The assessment criteria for students is going to be announced pretty soon. Also, in other news from across India, no compromise. Well, actually, a 3rd COVID wave could be as severe as the 2nd one, is what experts are now talking about in India, Banajan, where they're saying, one of the crucial things is to make sure that citing international experience, the SBI Eco-RAP report estimated that intensity of the third wave won't be much different from the second wave. However, it said that deaths can be minimized with better preparedness. A third wave of COVID-19, the average duration for this third wave for top countries is 98 days, and that of the second wave is 108 days, with a third wave peak as a multiple of second at 1.8 and second wave as a multiple of the first for 5.2 was reported, is what the report is currently saying. So the report comes as India prepares for a likely third wave of the pandemic. Oh my God. That is so scary, isn't it, Altu? So in other news, Bunijan, I'm not sure how many of you were following the news from India over the weekend. The hashtag #MeToo movement has taken a big step forward, in the sense that an FIR has finally been filed against 11 prominent actors and actresses. Not actresses, actually, it's 11 prominent celebrities in the film world, which includes people like Jackie Bhagnani, and also the founder of Quan Entertainment, and the celebrity photographer Colston, and also Krishan Kumar of T-Series. So major mind-boggling headlines that were coming out over the weekend in the Me Too movement in India. The case has been filed based on complaints from former actress, model turned singer, songwriter, and also independent music producer. So you can get... I don't know what her. I don't have the details of her name right now, but she has filed this, and apparently she filed the complaints over a year ago. But it's taken them over a year now to file the FIR, and they've all been served. They're all not arrested yet, but they've all been served papers. You could get more information about whatever I shared just now, Binajan, by going to mediamahima.com. That's all we have time for on this morning's Good Morning Babe. We'll be back tonight, live at 5 on the Pam Pam Show. Don't forget to tune in. Have yourselves a wonderful 1st of June.
समझ ले इशारा क्या बोले तुम मस्ती में जी ले जुम्बा जुम्बा सर से गिरा दे फिकर का बोझा कमर हिला के हैप्पी हैप्पी हो जा कहना तू मान ले मेरा यारा समझ ले इशारा क्या बोले तुम मस्ती में जी ले जुम्बा जुम्बा
Hi, this is Johnny Liver, and you are listening me on Radio DHOT. Everything keeps getting hotter.